Welcome to the Retro 92 box office where glorious straight-to-video trash like Axem goes to die.
Well, wait a minute, we need to figure out where we're leaving from.
Yeah, and how are we gonna get there?
Coalition and leave niggas missing. Shorty glisten, you out of time, clock ticking. Gas the pedal over west, no fat dipping. Throw food at the chickens. On the block tricking, you best to be listening. All about the Benjamins, women in a limo, banging down Henneman, sipping on a Hennessy.
So we can use the phone.
I just want to use your phone. I have to use your phone. I just want to use your phone. I just want to use your damn phone.
Damn, no phone.
You better get with the program and act like you know.
Oh my God, no you did not just smack me out here in these woods. No you did not just smack me in these woods. Excuse me, you just smacked me out in these woods. I don't believe you just smacked me in these woods. Listen, go ahead.
So good. Amazingly based on a true story, so I hear. And it got released in basically one cinema and made zero at the box office. Gotta love. Check out all the fun free on YouTube. And now for this week's top 10. Jumping up 7 places into this week's top 10 is this early romantic period drama from Mir and I Am. It's Mississippi Mussolini.
You're gonna need that black guy's name for the insurance.
You alright?
Yeah. Black, brown, yellow. As long as you are not white, you are colored.
That's right.
All us people of color must stick together.
Right on, brother. Hello?
Mina.
Hey, what you doing Sunday afternoon? How long you been in Mississippi?
3 years. Before that, I was in Africa.
You kidding?
I'm a mixed masala.
Denzel Washington there playing the love interest in this. So this is the film's 5th week on the chart. It's made just under 2 million at this point at the box office. Not bad going for an independent feature. Mir and I Am would have future international hits including Monsoon Wedding and also The Namesake. Let me know what you think if you've seen this film. No more ranting for me on this crappy The Prince of Tides film, but somehow it's still climbing and holding on in there. It's up 1 place from last week's number 10 to this week's number 9. It's got 66 million at the box office, 10 weeks on the chart now for the Barbra Streisand Nick Nolte picture. The magic of the Disney classic Beauty and the Beast is holding firm, still dropping just 1 place to this week's number 8. 16 weeks on the box office and over 100 million at the box office. 4 weeks on the chart now and around 23 million for the iffy Richard Gere led thriller. Final analysis. Let's see what Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert think of it.
Richard Gere as a psychiatrist whose life becomes entangled with 2 sisters. One of them is beautiful but evil, and the other one is evil but beautiful. At the beginning, treating the sister played by Uma Thurman, he doesn't have any idea what strange and terrifying experiences she's about to lead him into.
You want to know how the dream ends?
Yes.
Everything goes up in flames. Flowers, the table. It's one great big fireball.
Like people looking at my wife. And I certainly don't like being looked at. Because you were desperate because of the emotional, psychological torture. Tell me anything. Just don't tell me it was for the money. If it's something as cold as that, I don't want to hear that.
I think this is crazy.
Final Analysis is a thriller that's too complicated for its own good, and in the final analysis, I think, the audience gets tired of trying to make sense out of the twists and turns that seem manufactured out of the screenwriter's whimsy. And yet there's good stuff in this movie. I enjoyed Kim Basinger's performance. I thought Eric Roberts was an entertaining villain, although he was a little over the top for true believability. In fact, the whole movie goes over the top with its climax on top of a storm-tossed lighthouse with lightning flashing and the railings giving away and the hero hanging by his fingernails over the precipitous drop to the stones far below. I like this kind of movie, but in this case, I think I would have liked a little less of it. It's a close call, but I can't recommend it.
I can't recommend it either. And, you know, I think if the picture had been better, you would have enjoyed the people that got to the lighthouse. But there are so many twists and turns and gimmicks at the end of this picture that that seems like it's totally tacked on. Now, here's my problem. I start right at the beginning. I did not believe Richard Gere, when the first moment we see him in the psychiatrist's office, I said, there's Richard Gere, and he could have been, just walked in off the street. I didn't see any character. I think you got to put glasses on a guy as great looking as Richard Gere if you're going to have him play a psychiatrist.
So you think if he'd had glasses, it would have been a better performance?
Yes. I think.
Have you ever tried that yourself? I think that might work in your case.
Thank you so much. Yeah, but it isn't working in yours. So, no, but seriously, the point is, I didn't buy Gere. Then the build-up with Basinger, when she trots on, then you're counting down the minutes to the bedroom scene. Okay.
Eagerly.
Then constant switching back and forth, plus the lighthouse, and it's a jumble in the back half of the picture.
Yeah, it's almost like at the end when they were writing the screenplay, they were saying, okay, if this is true, then it isn't true.
Yes.
And then if it isn't true, then it is true.
Yes.
And it back and forth till you feel like it's a ping-pong match.
You fucked him over and over and over. You lied to me over and over and over.
Edward, please.
No, you don't talk to me now. I gave everything. What? To the fucking kid. No. I wouldn't feel it. I knew it from the very first day. Because I know you, Connie. I know you and I fucking hate you. I didn't want to kill him, I wanted to kill you!
Well, there's Mr. Gere with glasses for you, Mr. Cisco. Any better? Hamming it up nicely. One of the surprise hits of 92 so far, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, still pulling the crowds in. 70 million at the box office, 8 weeks on the chart now. And yes, that little girl grew up to become this.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You okay?
Yeah.
You two know each other?
No.
Well, I do recognize you.
No.
From your book. It's nice to see some good old-fashioned family values in this morally bankrupt city of ours. What happened to your eye?
Yeah, what did happen to your eye, Hank?
Well, you should see the other guy.
I hope she doesn't press charges.
Into the top 5, and John McTierney's weird-looking romantic action movie Medicine Man with Sean Connery and a young Lorraine Bracco is this week's number 5, 4th week on the chart, around 31 million. It was another victim of the critics, Cisco and Ebert leading the way.
Mom, what are you doing here?
Mommy's gotta change you.
Ah! Mommy, I don't want to be changed.
I've gotta change you.
I can change you.
Stepping out from the ring and into a nappy is Sylvester Stallone in this week's number 4, Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, as he attempts to do an Arnie, with a switch into a family-friendly style comedy, but Kindergarten Cop this film end. It's fair to say the 3 leads in this have seen better days. Stop or My Mum Will Shoot has been on the chart for 2 weeks. It's got about 14 million at the box office. Hardly a runaway success so far. Fried green tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe is a good example of a film which starts off slowly but then has legs over its box office slice, slowly growing into a commercial and critical hit. It got numerous award nominations. Now 10 weeks on the chart, and it's got close to 50 million at the box office, and sort of has a reputation over time of becoming like a big favourite. They have a bit of a poor legacy when it comes to influencing toffee-nosed, middle-class, quirky trash like the Guernsey Potato Peeling Society. Vomit.
I think Anne Bronte is better than Charlotte or Emily. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, a more important book than Wuthering Heights.
Anne is more modern than Emily, particularly with respect to the status of women.
More so than Charlotte Bronte when she wrote Jane Eyre. Very doubtful. Doubtful.
Do you think, because I am poor, obscure, plain and little, that I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much soul as you, and full as much heart.
Oh, you did that beautifully.
Right.
Dear God, shoot me now. I can tell you one thing, in 20 years' time I won't be doing a retro box office review of 2018, I can guarantee you that. Anyway, back to 92, and coming in at this week's number 2, it's a brand new entry from John Carpenter.
It all started on a Tuesday in March. If George hadn't introduced me to Alice...
Let's not do anything cheap and meaningless.
Okay, what do I owe you? She hadn't been so spectacular. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten so loaded that night. 10 minutes. It'll be as good as new. And none of this would have happened.
Edgy director of cult gems Halloween and Assault on Precinct 13, John Carpenter teams up with two of the biggest stars of the era, Daryl Hannah and Chevy Chase, for a more comedic noir take on the classic H.G. Wells' Invisible Man tale. Sam Neill, 1 year from his biggest ever role in Jurassic Park, also gets in on the antics. Now, this was slammed by the critics at the time and has not aged very well since for many people, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I kind of enjoyed it. I think there's some charm to it, and it gets a bad rap for me. I think this one deserves a bit more love, but that's just me. You can expect a future review of the movie on the channel from me and Rachel, as we will soon be doing a John Carpenter retrospective. More on Memoirs of an Invisible Man next week, but for the third week in a row, Wayne's World is the box office #1, a massive smash. Already with nearly 50 million at the box office. I leave you with Sisco's and Ebert's very positive thoughts on the comedy. They give it a big thumbs up. See you next week.
She's a babe. She's a robo-babe. In Latin, she would be called Babia Majora. If she were a president, she'd be Babraham Lincoln.
I've had plenty of Joe jobs. Nothing I'd call a career. Let me put it this way. I have an extensive collection of name tags and hairnets. Hey, hold on. Can I call you sometime?
If you got $5, you can come to the Red Posse. It's at my loft.
I'm there. Squeeze me? Baking powder? It sounded like you said you were going to pay us for doing Wayne's World.
I know. You just give me the word and I'll tear up these checks right here.
No. Shootsy scores.
The movie was directed by Penelope Spheris, who has specialized in films about disaffected heavy metal dropouts and people who live on the fringe, and here she crosses that sensibility, kind of crosses it with Animal House. Wayne's World is like those Bill and Ted movies. It's stupid on the surface, smart underneath, and very funny.
I think it's a lot smarter and a lot funnier than the Bill and Ted pictures, which I didn't like. I liked
the second one, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Okay. I like this picture a real lot. I think that the humor is aimed at varying age groups, people with different amounts of sophistication about television, about rock music, about Aurora, Illinois, all of that stuff. It is really an original kind of thing. And in addition to doing all the standard things that you'd expect, the stuff with heavy metal, there are great moments of real whimsy here. For example, in the middle of all this action, while all the stories are going on, suddenly we see Wayne and Garth in the street in front of his house playing hockey. The kind of things that guys do when they got too much time on their hands.
Car, and they have to go
and they move the hockey net. Then the other thing is I love the stuff when they're just sitting by the airport on the back of their car. They want the noise of the
And didn't
jets.
you also didn't you love the product placement satire, where they have one little sequence where they hold up all the products so that you can get plugs in, and then they don't do it anywhere else in the movie?
I think this is a completely original and
smart
really
and funny
terrific
film.
picture.